Hey guys, it's Maddie from Let's Eat Plants, and today we are going to try making a vegan Tom Kha soup in the Instant Pot. Today's recipe is from plant-based-instantpot.com, and I have just recently found their website and am loving how many Instant Pot recipes are on there. As you may know, I love my Instant Pot. I use it quite often, and I'm always looking for new recipes that use it for cooking. So today's recipe is for a Tom Kha soup, also known as Tom Kha Gai. I hope I'm saying that right. If you're not familiar with Tom Kha, Wikipedia defines it as a spicy and sour hot soup with coconut milk. So I have been to Thailand a few times before when I was living in Asia. However, I am not very familiar with cooking Thai food, I have to say. So looking at the recipe on plant-based-instantpot.com, I feel it looks pretty authentic, but I definitely don't know for sure. So before we get started on the recipe, I do want to introduce some of the maybe a little bit more unusual ingredients that aren't that common, at least to me, but are things that you will need to make this soup more authentic tasting. I got these at my local Asian store. I'm lucky in Toronto that I have one close by, but I even wonder if Amazon or someplace online is selling things like this now. I'll have to look into that. Okay, first up is jackfruit. And jackfruit is gonna be what replaces the chicken in this recipe. Now jackfruit, if you're not familiar, is this crazy large fruit. They can grow up to like 50 pounds or something crazy like that. But it's very important to note for jackfruit that there are two kinds. I mean, not really kinds, but there are two ways to buy it. There will be the yellow, ripe, sweet jackfruit, and that's usually canned in syrup. And then you'll have the young jackfruit that is canned in brine. So do not get the jackfruit that is sweet for this recipe. Read your can carefully. If it says in brine, you want that one. If it says in syrup, you don't want that one. So this is actually pretty easy to find nowadays, and it works really well in the place of shredded chicken or shredded pork for many vegan recipes. Next up is lemongrass. I bought mine frozen. These are like half stalks, just cut in half and then frozen. I've also seen it being sold as like fresh, long, whole sticks of lemongrass. That would work fine as well. The only thing I think you don't want for this recipe is like the powdered form, where they just take one of these and chop it very finely and then sell it as like a kind of powder, but it's very chunky. And I think you don't really want that one because then you will have chunks in your soup and you'd probably have to strain it out. Although if that's all you can find, definitely better than not having it. And then we have galangal or galangal. I'm not really sure how it's pronounced. I think it's galangal.
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 So when you're buying fresh galangal, it does kind of look like ginger, but the outside skin definitely looks different. So that's kind of how you tell them apart. And this is just one that I bought fresh and then chopped up and froze it myself, but I have also seen it sold already frozen. Next up is Kaffir Lime Leaves. Another item I bought fresh and then froze myself. Can you tell I like to do that? So these lime leaves are very fragrant. And these leaves I've also seen being sold frozen. So if you don't see them fresh, try the frozen section. And the last kind of unusual ingredient is tamarind paste. And this is what's going to give the soup kind of a sour flavor. And literally the only reason I have this is because my husband really likes this Vietnamese soup that uses tamarind paste. Before him, I had never worked with it before, never used it before, never even seen it before. But luckily I did have it on hand, as it is also one of the ingredients for this soup. So even though this does say seedless, I don't know, my mother-in-law told me that there are seeds in it and that you need to remove them before you eat it. So I just put it in a little bit of water and then put it through a sieve and extracted just the juice. And that's what I have in here. Okay, we are ready to start. I am gonna make a couple modifications to the recipe just to make it a little bit more in line with what I prefer. So just to give the soup a little bit more spice, I am going to add in one red chili. I love these, they are so cute, and you can also keep these in the freezer. And I'm also going to add in some extra vegetables because I feel this soup needs a bit more vegetables going on. So in addition to the mushrooms and the jackfruit that are already in the recipe, I'm going to add in some baby corn, some eggplant, and some bell peppers. However, I do notice that different vegetables cook faster than other vegetables. So things like eggplant and bell peppers are going to cook really quickly in the Instant Pot and probably don't need a full 15 minutes of pressure cook. So I'm going to cook the broth ingredients first with just the jackfruit and mushrooms, and then halfway through the cooking time, I will add in the eggplant, baby corn, and bell peppers. Is that crazy? I don't know. I just really don't like overcooked vegetables. I don't know if that's really the correct way to use the Instant Pot, but I have done it before and it works for me, so that's what I'm gonna do. And with that, let's start this soup. Okay, the Instant Pot just beeped that it is finished with the cooking cycle, so I'm going to quick release the pressure and then add in our extra veggies. I think it will also be a good time to taste it and see how's the flavor so far. And if it needs any other flavorings, I can add them in right now for the last 5 minutes of a pressure cook. The flavor is good. It is very lemongrassy and lime leafy, so that's good. And there's a little hint of spice, but not too spicy. But I do think I'm gonna add in some broth paste here to give it a little more flavor, especially because I'm also gonna add some more water to make sure I have enough liquid to cover the vegetables that I'm going to be adding. I'm gonna add about 2 cups more water just to make sure all the vegetables are covered with liquid. I think that will help them cook better. The second round of pressure cooking has just finished, so I'm going to unplug this. And I'm just gonna let the pressure come down naturally for a little bit, maybe like 5-10 minutes, and then release any remaining pressure and check out our finished soup. Not finished, we need to add coconut milk, but almost finished soup. So much better after adding the broth paste. If you don't have broth paste, just use a regular veggie broth instead of water. That's my recommendation for this so far. All right, let's do a final taste test of this soup. It smells really good. The flavor is really good. Once you add the coconut milk, I feel it's pretty authentic tasting. I think maybe a little bit more salt or some vegan fish sauce would help, but just as is, it's pretty good. My only other complaint is having chunks of galangal. Like, I just bit into one and that was not very delicious. So I'm not sure if there's maybe a better way to put them in the soup, like putting them in one of those like soup balls, I've seen that before, or leaving it a lot chunkier so they're easier to find and then fish them out at the end. But other than that, this soup is pretty good. I do also think it was a good idea to vary the cooking times of the vegetables because the eggplant and the bell pepper did get very soft with only the 5 minutes of pressure cook. So I think any longer would have been too long for them. So if you're looking for ease and simplicity of using an Instant Pot, maybe just do vegetables that you know take a longer time to cook. I also think I could have added 1 or 2 more chilies. If you like things spicy, 1 chili really didn't do anything, so definitely add more if you like it spicy. But overall, I would say this soup is really delicious. I will definitely be making it again, and I highly suggest you guys try it out if you are looking for a vegan Tom Kha soup. Of course, I will post the original recipe in the description box down below, as well as the modifications that I made. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please feel free to subscribe. I'm making new videos every week, bringing you vegan recipes and whole food plant-based recipes for you to make at home. I will also leave a short playlist right here with some other Instant Pot recipes if you are interested in those. And with that, let's eat plants, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.